Defining identity crisis, a quest for self. An identity crisis is a period of uncertainty and confusion in a person's life where they question their sense of self. This often involves reflecting on their values, beliefs, goals, career path, and place in the world. It can manifest as feelings of emptiness, lack of direction, or a sense of being lost. During this period, individuals may experience emotional turmoil, anxiety, and depression as they grapple with fundamental questions about who they are and where they belong. Identity crises are often triggered by significant life events. These events could be positive, like starting a new job or having a child, or negative, like a job loss or the end of a relationship. These transitions disrupt our routines and force us to reevaluate our priorities, leading to introspection and a search for a new equilibrium in our sense of self. The effects of an identity crisis can be far-reaching, impacting various aspects of an individual's life. Relationships may suffer as the individual withdraws or becomes emotionally unavailable. Work productivity might decline due to a lack of motivation or focus. In some cases, individuals may even turn to unhealthy coping mechanisms, such as substance abuse, to numb the emotional pain and confusion they are experiencing. The dual nature of identity, personal feeling, and social role. Identity is a complex concept with both personal and social dimensions. On a personal level, it encompasses our values, beliefs, personality traits, skills, and passions, the unique qualities that make us who we are. This internal sense of self shapes our perception of the world and influences our interactions with others. However, our identity is also shaped by the social roles we inhabit. Our roles as family members, friends, professionals, and members of various communities come with expectations and norms that influence our behavior and sense of belonging. This social dimension of identity highlights how our sense of self is not formed in isolation, but is constantly being shaped by our interactions with others and the world around us. This dual nature of identity often creates tension, particularly during an identity crisis. We may feel a disconnect between our internal sense of self and the expectations associated with our social roles. For example, we might feel pressure to conform to societal expectations in our career choices, even if they don't align with our true passions and values. This dissonance can contribute to feelings of inauthenticity and fuel the identity crisis. Identity crisis of the Muslim elite in British India, as an example. The historical example of the Muslim elite in British India offers a compelling case study of a collective identity crisis. Prior to British rule, Muslims held significant political and social power in India. However, the advent of British colonialism brought about a decline in their status, leading to uncertainty and anxiety about their place in the new social order. Western education and values were introduced, challenging traditional Islamic teachings and creating a sense of cultural dissonance. The Muslim elite, torn between preserving their cultural heritage and adapting to the new reality, faced a profound identity crisis. Some responded by embracing Western education and seeking positions within the colonial administration. Others clung to traditional Islamic values, viewing Western influence as a threat to their way of life. This internal conflict within the community reflected the larger struggle to reconcile their historical identity with their present circumstances. The impact of identity politics. Identity politics, while aiming to empower marginalized groups, can sometimes have unintended consequences for social cohesion. When identity groups become overly politicized, it can lead to a narrowing of focus, with individuals primarily identifying with their specific group at the expense of broader societal unity. While it is crucial to acknowledge and address the concerns of marginalized communities, an overemphasis on identity politics can create divisions and hinder constructive dialogue. When individuals primarily view themselves and others through the lens of identity groups, it can lead to an us versus them mentality, fostering resentment and hindering collaboration on shared societal challenges. Exploring multiple identities and finding comfort. In today's increasingly interconnected world, it's common for individuals to explore multiple identities. Our cultural backgrounds, family histories, personal experiences, and evolving beliefs all contribute to the multifaceted nature of who we are. Embracing this complexity is key to exploring the challenges of identity formation. It requires acknowledging and accepting the different facets of ourselves, even those that may seem contradictory. This process of integration allows us to develop a more refined and authentic sense of self. It's also important to remember that identity is not fixed, but rather a fluid and evolving concept. As we encounter new experiences and relationships, our understanding of ourselves also shifts and deepens. Exploring an identity crisis can be a daunting process, but it is also an opportunity for growth and self-discovery. By welcoming the complexities of our identities, fostering open dialogue, and seeking support when needed, we can emerge from this period with a stronger sense of self and purpose. For more videos on personal crises and support, like and subscribe.